Hello Internet. This is a long awaited update for the 101 Pans. The creator and the people who are hopefully still doing this on Instagram will be listed down below. This was started September 13th, 2019 and will end December 31st, 2020. The basis of this project pan was you pick 101 eyeshadows you want to hit pan on. I last updated this project the 7th of May 2020. It's now November, so this video is going to be filmed in parts because it is a long video, so be prepared for that. I just want to say in the beginning that if you want to see all the pans I hit, don't forget to check out my Instagram. That's where I post most of the time all my immediate pans. If not, after I post that update, then I post the pan, because I was too overly ambitious for this project pan. I went in with good intentions but did not follow through correctly. You will see in a following clip what I have hit pan on since the last update, but I do just want to say that, you know, life happens. And at the end of the day, this is all just eyeshadow, and at the end of the day, yes, I could have planned this better. Here's everything I hit pan on. So this segment with the rabbit in the back is everything I've currently have pan on and the to declutter. So this is everything that has been changed since the last update of this project pan. So the first pan that was hit since the last update is the Lorac Brunch palette. This is the shade Mimosa. Since I hit pan on it, it has been expanded. I have touched it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I have no idea when I hit pan on this. I don't have numbers for really any of these. Hence why there has been such a long gap in this project. Next, I hit pan in the shade from the Naked palette, and that is the shade Virgin. Virgin has been expanded a lot. It is still a focus shade in my collection. Very nice. Very, very, very nice. Next, I have a now depotted Urban Decay After Dark single. Well, from the palette. This is one of the shades in it. This is the shade Scene. I have a nice dip of pan. I love this shade. I'm happy I hit pan on it because I had a dip for a long while. And now the two items that were decluttered included the QKI palette, so I'm no longer hitting pan in the Silver Shimmer. That is Dunzo, Garbanzo Beans, Trash Can, along with the Tarte Pro palette, the shade Fierce Gonzo, right? Then after I decluttered those, I hit pan in the ColourPop Zodiac palette. I hit pan in the shade Virgo, the tiniest little bit of pan. This shade took forever for me. Yeah, that shade took 3 months of use.
Impressive, but yes, really. It made me, don't do it.
It made me not want to touch dark browns for a while, and I have not really touched dark browns since I panned this. Well, hit pan in it. And then the last eyeshadow I hit pan in, is from the Too Faced Natural Mattes palette. That palette is also now depotted, and this is the shade Heaven. I hit a little teeny bit pan, and now it's resting. Yeah, it's now resting. I can focus on some other cream shades that are in this project and in just all the other projects I'm doing. So this is a nice little, nice pan. It has a nice dip. This is something that I definitely will keep working on next year, but just not right now. It's on probation. There you go. We're having a probation period, a little break period. And that is everything that has hit goal since the last update. Okay, so now it's time to talk about all the loosey-goosey single eyeshadows. All the depotted single eyeshadows that are still remaining. What's their progress? Am I realistically going to finish them by the end of this year? And by finish them, I mean hit pan on them by the end of the year. This first one, I don't think I'm going to hit pan on it by the end of this year. This is Makeup Geek's Frappe. So, here's the deal with this guy. In my pan that palette, love it. Actual, like, might be my favorite type of crease shade. Like, for real. For neutral. days. Love it. I purposely stopped using it because this was getting on with the intention in my Pan That palette, and I was not making progress in the other shades of my Pan That palette. So this has been on the back burner. It has a nice dip. Could it hit pan by the end of the year if I touched it? Maybe, but I don't think I will. Therefore, probably not gonna happen. Being realistic, being 100% realistic. This next one is Makeup Geek's Cosmopolitan. This one I still think is a possible. I think this is highly probable that I could still hit pan on it by the end of the year. I just need to start using it in the looks I know I like it in. I need to start doing the same looks every day, which I tend to not do because I like change with my eyeshadow. I like playing every single day. But I need to start using this again because I would like to see pan on it by the end of the year for my Pet Cemetery project pan, for this project pan, and for my Pan That palette. I want this. The dip is massive, and it's been massive for so long, you know? It would just be so rewarding. So, like, maybe, hopefully, that would be ideal. Next, we have the 4 remaining shades from my Lorac Pro Brunch palette that do not have pan. So first, we got good old Eggs Benny. You can tell I've touched it now, which is a step in the right direction, but I don't think I'm gonna hit pan on it by the end of December. This and the next shade are my least used shades from this palette that are still remaining. It's not gonna get the love it needs to hit pan. It's just not going to. Same with this one, Avocado Toast. This one has a higher probability of me hitting pan by the end of the year compared to Eggs Benny, only because I've noticed I've been a sucker for greens recently. I'm loving greens, I'm loving pinks, I'm loving reds, I'm loving color. So when I have been wearing green recently, I have used this as a like base shade to put down to help just blend stuff out because it's not that pigmented. It's a pastel shade, you know. So higher probability than the last one is going to happen. Realistically, probably not. But I'm still gonna try to reach for it when I can. Like this isn't going to deter my use. This next one, maybe. This is Hot Sauce from the Lorac Pro Brunch palette. As you can see the dip on cam. Does have a nice dip. I have been playing with reds recently also. I've been playing with a lot of color, period. Point blank, period. I've been loving color. I've been loving sneaking in color on Zoom calls. I don't know why. I love it. So, possibly, we'll see. You know, I would love to hit pan on it by December. If it happens, it happens. Amazing. If it doesn't, oh well. Just, ooh, that was my elbow. Y'all hear that? That was my elbow just cracking. And that's my good elbow too. Ooh, disgusting. I'm so sorry. And then the last shade from the Lorac Pro Brunch palette is Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary now has a nice little dip. I think Bloody Mary also wasn't used that much. You saw I've used it now. Nice little dip. Could have had pan by the end of the project, maybe. But it's not, I'm not currently focusing on it. Next are 3 shades that I know I'm not going to hit pan on by the end of this project, just because I knew these were going to be hard to hit pan on anyway, and you know, being realistic, this ends December 31st, and that's the shades from the Thirsty palette. So from the Thirsty palette, I have the shade, what is this? I think this is Stroke. I don't think I've touched it since the last update, being completely honest. I do not really reach for this person's shades that I own anymore. So there's no way this is gonna have pan by the finale. This next one I would like to try to hit pan on it because I think it would be easier. This is Snatched from the Thirsty palette. I've noticed that the shimmers from this palette are very easy to hit pan. And by very easy, I mean like kind of like ABH, Lorac, shimmer type of easy. Maybe, I would say probability of it hitting pan by the finale is like a nice 70%. I don't want to say too much higher because I am trying to knock out a couple more shimmers from my Pan That palette. I really just want a couple singles out of my life for my Pan That palette. I don't know. But it would be an easy one if I really need one to focus on and know that I can get it done. That wasn't really English, but I hope you can. Hope you catch what I mean. And then the last one from the Thirsty palette is Parched. This is the cream shade. I know this is too densely packed for me to hit pan on it by the end of the project, so it's fine. It's okay. it's whatever. And then the last two singles. So the next single is from the Too Faced Natural Matte Palette, which is now depotted. The shade Honey Butter. I would love to have pan on this by December. I think that this is one of the shades I am still going to focus on, even though, yes, this is densely packed. But it has a nice dip there. I tend to use it with a shader brush or a densely packed blending brush. So I'm still going to try to hit pan on this because I would love to. I would love to see that happen. Hitting pan on the shades from Too Faced is very rewarding for me. So I'm going to try. I'm going to try. Really, I want it. I want it. I need it. Manifest it. Give me some more pan by the end of the year in this project so I can feel semi-satisfied. You know, that's just the vibes I'm trying to manifest here for this project. Then the last one. The day I hit pan on this would be like an accomplishment. The last depotted single is the Makeup Forever Old Eyeshadow in M846. I would love to hit pan on this so badly. I have been using it more since the last update. Anytime I just want like a tint of red, sometimes I even throw this in to just help blend stuff out because even though they're not cruelty free, I can just trust their eyeshadow. Like I use their eyeshadows for like quick, easy date looks when I don't want to put much effort into it, but I want to wear just a little makeup. It's just, I know I can trust it. That dip in the center is nice. You can see that like center ring. Will it have pan on by December? I would love that, but I don't really think that's possible. Look how massive this thing is. But yeah, for my depotted singles, some have higher probabilities than others. I'm just going to just keep reaching for what I keep reaching for, and hopefully we get some pan. You know, just hopefully we get some pan. And now here is everything that is not a depotted single that is remaining. So these are my palettes and then my panned individually packaged singles. So first off, Lorac Mega Pro 4. There's only one eyeshadow remaining in this project. I forget. Misty Mauve. This is the only one that's still remaining from this project. All the ones that had hearts next to it were in this project. But as you can see, they are all completed but Misty Mauve. Misty Mauve does have a nice dip. Could be one that I could get out by the end of the year. This is actually something I should look into hitting pan on soon. Mark it down as something that could definitely be done. So we'll see. We will see. Next, I have the Urban Decay Single Shadow in 1985. This is what it looks like. I can't tell you the last time I used it. There's no way I'm going to hit pan on this by the end of the year. But it is very pretty. Just wish it was realistic. Maybe I'll try to get a use on it by the next update, but we'll see. Next we have two that I was really committed on working on, and that's from the Venus palette. I really wanted to hit pan on Rebirth and Shell. Shell has a dip over here, and then Rebirth kind of has a dip, but the problem with Rebirth is it constantly, it's not even in the pan, so I'd always have to mess with it. I think Shell could be easy, but I'm not gonna lie to you, this ain't gonna take priority anytime soon. Now let's talk about a palette that does get love, so it is possibly realistic that something might look different by the finale. The Naked palette. So still remaining in this project for the Naked palette include Sidecar, Smog, and Creep. Creep I'm actually wearing today. That's the black shade on my lid. Realistically, I think Sidecar could be something we see changed by the finale. I did throw this into another project using my brain. Smog I have used recently, but not really. And then Creep I do reach for every once in a while and would like to pull in more. So Creep also could be a possibility, but at the same time it is a black shadow. So you know, need to be careful. Next, Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. This one, I knew this one was going to be hard. The one shade Mocha, that's not going to happen. Flat out, just not going to happen. If you have not panned one of these palettes before, they are densely packed. And as you can see, I have experience panning this palette. The other shade in here I was focusing on, sorry if you heard my stomach. It's not lunchtime, but apparently my stomach thinks it is. Satin Sheets. Satin Sheets is also in this project. It does have, oh, it really does have a nice dip. I was using it as actually a face highlighter because I actually really like it as a face highlighter. Maybe it is currently in rotation. I could try to wear that shade a little more. If I wear it as a highlighter, oh, I'm tempted now. I'm tempted to make it my third highlighter I wear. Just add a little pop. Maybe. That's a solid maybe. I could see myself at least doing satin sheets. I don't know about mocha definitely ain't getting used. The Naked 3 palette. I had higher hopes of knocking out more shades in this palette this year, but me and this palette just haven't gotten along. We're not friends at the moment. So the Dust was in this project, Burnout, and Liar. Burnout has the closest dip to Hit Pan, but I'm not touching this palette. I do want to pull it in soon because it is like winter themed, but I'm not banking on it. You know, realistically not banking on it. This one, the one shade that's still remaining in this palette for me to hit pan on is Mercury. Mercury is in my pan those eyeshadows for this project that I still never updated and should talk about on here. I updated it on Instagram, but not on the YouTubes. So Mercury is on there. I haven't used it, but I would like to hit a little pan on this, but it has no dip. So I don't know. It could go either way. Well, this one's a like we'll see option. Next, my two shadows from the Naked Heat palette. Good old Naked Heat. So for this palette, I picked Chaser and I picked Scorched. Scorched hasn't been touched. Chaser is a pan those eyeshadow. I'm not gonna focus on this guy that I know takes forever to pan when I have something in my pan that palette that I really would like to get out. So, understandable. Next, the whole Kendo Vegan Beauty Pastel Goth palette. Obviously, I'm focusing on every shade but Skull because Skull's already halfway used up. The only one that I think would possibly be close to hitting pan is Meow, but even saying that, these are densely packed, so I have no clue. I'm going to I've been trying to use Meow every day since the start of November, but we'll see. This is another one that's in the air. I have no clue what will happen to it. We'll just see. Next is the Balm Meet Matrimony palette. This palette is now in my like daily palette drawer because of Matlin that's in a different project. But for this project, we got the Purple Dude, we got Lopez, and then we got Thomas. Technically, if I took a shader brush to them like I did to Matt Kumar, they would all be, you know, good. Lopez does have a nice dip, so I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. These pans are deep though, so I honestly have... This is honestly like if it happens, great, but I wouldn't bank on it. Next, the Kathleen Lights and ColourPop Zodiac palette. The other shade in this palette I'm focusing on is Gemini. I really haven't touched it. I don't really wear gold shades, and plus I'm still mad at how long it took to hit pan on Virgo, so I got beef with this palette. We ain't talking. It's just how it is. Next, I have some shades from the Urban Decay and Kristen Leanne Kaleidoscope palette. So, this messy palette. So, my goal is to hit pan on this white and pink shade, which has a nice dip. I really should just take a shader brush to it to call it a day. I wanted to hit pan on LCW, which is not going to happen because this shade has too much pigment. Not pigment, what's the word? This shade is, it's kind of domed. It's not supposed to be. They actually pressed too much shadow into it. But, yeah. And then Dye. I originally, before I started pan those eyeshadows, I was focusing on hitting pan on Dye, but since then I haven't. And Dye is kind of a crappy purple. This is something I know I'm working on next year because I kind of want it out. Like I want the eyeshadows out, but I'm going to keep the packaging because the packaging to me is pretty, but I hate the pan layout. But I love the colors and the jellies. I love jellyfish. Next, I have the Plushies Freshly Squeezed Quad. So in here, the two shades I wanted to hit pan on were Jackfruit and Mango. I haven't touched this little palette. I know they would be easy to hit pan on, that's why I put them in here, but I really enjoy them. So, I ain't gonna rush it with this one. Next, I have two LA Colors matte singles. So first I have Crushed. Crushed hasn't been touched. I love that that rhymed. And the next one is Forbidden. Forbidden realistically could have panned by the finale. It is in another project. It's just something we'll have to see. Next, I have the Urban Decay Beach eyeshadow palette in the shade 16th Street. If I pull this out, I probably could hit pan on it. So I need to remember that this is one that theoretically could have pan by the finale. So this is something I should pull in and focus on. Next, I have the Lorac Free Spirit palette. So in this palette, the shades I want to hit pan on include 1, 2, 5, 6, and 8. I haven't really been touching this. I know it's easy to hit pan. A lot of them already have dips, but I'm just not reaching for it. This might be one that I could possibly pull in real quick. I think that gold would probably be the easiest to hit pan on, but we'll see. I'm not betting on this one getting any use. Next, I have another one that probably would be easy, and that's for the Will You Marina Me. The crease shade does not have pan, but that would be an easy one to do, but I don't think it's gonna happen, to be honest, because I kind of already got plans for this sucker for next year, so I'm just gonna hold it out till next year, you know what I mean? And then the Makeup Forever Illustrious Eyeshadows palette. I wanted to hit pan on pretty much every single shade but the black and the khaki because I wanted to get more use out of this palette. It definitely has got more use. I think that purple or the white shade definitely would be the next two to possibly have pan, but these are very pigmented and densely packed. So I don't think that's gonna happen. This shade up here was a pan those eyeshadow shade, but it's not gonna happen. So let's go back and talk about theoretically the possibilities, the ones that are more likely to have pan on them by the finale. So that's the LA Colors matte eyeshadow in Forbidden with its nice little dip, the Urban Decay Beach eyeshadow palette in the shade 16th Street. Because to be honest, I gotta remember and keep all these suckers out. Meow from Pastel Goth. I don't think I said that this one was gonna be easy. I mean, it's subcultured, it's easy to pan, but I don't know about Mercury. That one's up in the air. Sidecar from the Naked palette. Definitely could have pan. And honestly, if I keep wearing black shadow more, so could Creep. Misty Mauves from the Lorac palette. Definitely. I mean, look at that dip. It's so close. So close. 2 uses. Bet. Bet. And then Satin Sheets from the Too Faced palette. So it would be nice to get close to 50 or 51 out of 100 pans. I actually don't know the current number off the top of my head because I haven't updated it. So I'm at 39 out of 101. That would be nice. We'll see. I'm just going to keep trying to make progress on my stuff that I know needs to be out by the end of the calendar year. This project really isn't a top focus for me, as it should have been. Honestly, all of these shades just should have went into projects, but I didn't think about it that way. And that's definitely what flawed me here. But at the end of the day, at least a lot of eyeshadow or again love that typically wouldn't have, so you can't fault it there. But yeah, this is how this project's going for me. I do not think I would do a project similar to this again. I don't even think I would do a pan those eyeshadows again. Yeah, I don't vibe with those. I love watching them, but I personally just can't do them. I will post the finale for this, no matter what the verdict is at the end of the year. So, see you all in a month. This is how this project pan's going. Not the best. I don't think it's the worst, but definitely not the best. Don't forget to follow the hashtag on Instagram of everyone else doing this project. If you enjoy me or you enjoy project pan videos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and all that jazz. And peace out, Girl Scout.